Hey there, welcome to our channel. Today, we've got an eye-opening topic that you won't want to miss. We're diving deep into the fascinating world of manipulation. So, if you've ever wondered whether someone is trying to manipulate you, you're in the right place. Before we get started, don't forget to hit that subscribe button and ring the notification bell so you never miss our insightful content. 1. Overly charming behavior. Now, we've all encountered that person who, at first glance, appears to be the most charming and perfect individual you've ever met. They'll shower you with compliments, always seem upbeat, and they might even go out of their way to make you feel special. But here's the catch. When someone's charm feels like it's been cranked up to an 11 on a scale of 1 to 10, it's essential to take a step back and evaluate the situation. Why? Because this level of charm can often be a facade, a carefully constructed mask that manipulators wear to gain your trust and make you more receptive to their influence. Think about it for a moment. If someone is constantly telling you how amazing you are, it can create a sense of indebtedness, a feeling that you owe them something in return. It's a subtle way for them to manipulate your emotions and decisions. So, what should you do when you encounter this excessively charming behavior? Well, the key is to remain vigilant. Enjoy the compliments, but don't let them cloud your judgment. Take your time to get to know the person better and always trust your instincts. 2. Guilt tripping. Now, the second sign of manipulation is something we've all encountered at some point in our lives, and it's called guilt tripping. This manipulation tactic is designed to make you feel responsible for someone else's actions or emotions, and it can be a real emotional minefield if you're not aware of it. Let's say you have a friend, family member, or even a colleague who constantly uses phrases like, "If you really cared about me, you would," or "You're the only one who can help me with this." These guilt-inducing statements are meant to pull at your heartstrings and manipulate you into doing what they want. Guilt trippers are masters at making you feel like you're the cause of their problems or unhappiness, even when you're not. They might play on your empathy and kindness, making it incredibly difficult to say no to their requests or demands. But here's the important thing to remember. It's perfectly fine to have boundaries. No one should make you feel guilty for taking care of yourself or for not meeting their unrealistic expectations. Through gaslighting. Gaslighting is when someone tries to make you doubt your own perceptions, memories, or sanity. They do this by denying things they've said or done, even when there's clear evidence to the contrary. A gaslighter might tell you things like, "I never said that," or "You're making things up," even when you distinctly remember the conversation or event. They may try to convince you that your feelings and thoughts are irrational or overreacting. The goal of gaslighting is to make you question your own reality and judgment, rendering you more susceptible to their control. It's a form of emotional abuse, and it can erode your self-esteem and confidence over time. So, how do you protect yourself from gaslighting? First and foremost, trust your instincts and your memory. If you're sure about something, don't let anyone make you doubt yourself. Keep a journal or document important conversations when necessary to have a record. 4. Isolation. Now, the fourth sign of manipulation is isolation, and it's a tactic that can be especially damaging to your relationships and well-being. Manipulators often use isolation to control and dominate your life. Here's how it typically works. A manipulator will try to cut you off from your friends, family, and support networks. They may do this subtly by making you feel guilty for spending time with others, or by convincing you that they're the only one who truly understands you. Or they could be more direct, pressuring you to distance yourself from loved ones. Isolation is a powerful tool for manipulators because it leaves you more dependent on them for emotional support and validation. When you have fewer people to turn to, it becomes easier for them to exert control over your thoughts, feelings, and decisions. Recognizing isolation is crucial. If you find yourself spending less time with friends and family, or feeling like you can't be open with them because of your relationship with someone who might be manipulating you, it's a warning sign. If someone is trying to isolate you, it's a red flag, and you should seek support from those you trust. 5. Constant criticism. Have you ever been in a situation where it seems like nothing you do is ever good enough? Well, this could be a clear indication of manipulation. Manipulators often employ constant criticism as a means of control. They'll point out your flaws, nitpick your choices, and make you feel like you can never meet their standards. This constant negativity can leave you feeling inadequate, anxious, and even more dependent on their approval. It's essential to recognize that healthy relationships are built on support, encouragement, and constructive feedback. While no one is perfect, a genuine partner or friend should help you grow and improve rather than tear you down. So, if you find yourself in a situation where you're constantly on the receiving end of criticism, it's important to set boundaries and communicate your feelings. Remember, your self-worth is not determined by someone else's judgment. Surround yourself with people who uplift you and appreciate you for who you are. And if you're finding this information helpful, please show your support by hitting that like button and sharing this video with others. 6. Playing the victim. Manipulators who play the victim often portray themselves as helpless or in distress, making others feel responsible for their problems. They may constantly lament their hardships, create drama, or exaggerate their difficulties to gain sympathy and control over your actions. When someone uses this tactic, they might say things like, "Nobody cares about me," "I always get the short end of the stick," or "I can't catch a break." Their goal is to make you feel guilty and obligated to rescue or help them. While it's natural to want to support those in need, it's crucial to discern whether the person is genuinely in a difficult situation or if they're manipulating you. Healthy relationships are based on mutual support and reciprocity, not one-sided dependency. So, how can you protect yourself from falling into this manipulation trap? First, take a step back and evaluate the situation objectively. Ask yourself if the person is consistently portraying themselves as a victim without taking any responsibility for their actions. And if you suspect someone is playing the victim, express your concerns and set clear boundaries. Show silent treatment. Have you ever been in a situation where someone suddenly stops communicating with you, refusing to respond to your messages or engage in conversation? This tactic is known as the silent treatment, and it's often used by manipulators as a way to control and punish you when you don't comply with their wishes. When someone employs the silent treatment, it can leave you feeling confused, anxious, and desperate to mend the relationship. This emotional turmoil is precisely what the manipulator is seeking. They want you to feel guilty and take the blame for whatever they perceive as wrong. It's crucial to understand that healthy communication is the foundation of any relationship. Using silence as a weapon to control someone is a form of emotional abuse and is not acceptable behavior. So, what can you do if you find yourself on the receiving end of the silent treatment? Firstly, maintain your composure and avoid begging for attention or apologizing when you've done nothing wrong. Instead, calmly express your desire for open and respectful communication. Remember that you have the right to be treated with respect and to have your feelings acknowledged. 8. Ultimatums. Now, the 8th sign of manipulation is something that can put you in a very tough spot: ultimatums. These are often used by manipulators to pressure you into doing something against your will. An ultimatum is essentially a threat disguised as a choice. The manipulator gives you two options, one of which is usually undesirable, to force you into complying with their wishes. For example, they might say, "Either you do what I want, or I'll end our relationship." Ultimatums are manipulative because they create a sense of urgency and fear, making it seem like you have no other choice. They can leave you feeling trapped and anxious, and you might end up making a decision that you don't really want to make. In healthy relationships, decisions should be made through open communication, compromise, and respect for each other's feelings and boundaries. Ultimatums undermine this foundation and can be detrimental to the relationship's well-being. So, what should you do when faced with an ultimatum? First, take a step back and assess the situation objectively. Ask yourself if the ultimatum is reasonable and if it respects your needs and boundaries. Next, communicate your feelings and concerns honestly with the person giving the ultimatum. Let them know that you value open and respectful dialogue to find a solution that works for both parties. Ultimatums should not be used as a means of manipulation or control. 9. Withholding information. Manipulators who use this tactic often selectively share information that benefits them while omitting or concealing details that might give you a more complete understanding of a situation. By doing so, they can shape your perception and decisions according to their agenda. For example, a manipulator might avoid sharing crucial facts, financial information, or personal details about themselves. They might only reveal what serves their interests or what keeps you dependent on them. Recognizing this form of manipulation is vital to maintaining healthy and balanced relationships. Trust and transparency are cornerstones of any meaningful connection, and when someone withholds information, it erodes trust and creates a power imbalance. So, how can you protect yourself from falling victim to this tactic? First, practice open and honest communication in your relationships. Encourage the sharing of important information and be clear about your boundaries regarding transparency. 10. Fear and intimidation. Manipulators who resort to fear and intimidation might use aggressive language, raise their voice, or engage in other intimidating behaviors to make you comply with their demands. They may threaten to harm you physically, emotionally, or socially if you don't do as they say. Fear and intimidation are incredibly harmful, and no one should ever feel scared or unsafe in a relationship. Healthy relationships are built on trust, respect, and safety. Knowledge is your greatest ally, and if you're finding this information helpful, please show your support by hitting that like button and sharing this video with others. Thank you for being part of our community. Bye for now and stay empowered.